Charlie Rowley, he asked for that meeting, and he met Theresa May. He had a long conversation on that matter. And since British media and also the government put the blame on Russia as far as the Salisbury concerned and the Amesbury concerned, so I decided that I have to explain the position of the Russian Federation, which is a little bit different from the position of the British government.
But if Russia, and we've heard this explanation a lot over the last year, if Russia had nothing to do with it, why did you agree to meet him? Why didn't you say, well, go to the French embassy, go to some other embassy, because they had as much to do with it as us? Well,
but the British media is not writing about the French embassy, they're writing about the Russian embassy. That's why, I thought that they have to get the explanations, at least, at the point of view from the first hand. Charlie was really surprised to hear a lot of things. 80% of what I said to him, he never heard of.
So tell us what you feel were the telling points.
Well, the first thing is that a year passed and we don't have any official report of the investigation. So this is just a fact of life. And we're still waiting for that report. Second, I showed him diplomatic notes that we sent to Foreign Office. It's something around 70 of them, and we never got the reply to them. So all the questions that were put on Salisbury, mostly Salisbury, of course, they were never replied.
But we have the outstanding facts about Salisbury, don't we? Which even you can't deny. There were two Russian men there at the very time that the Skripals were poisoned. Now, you may deny that they were in the GRU and that Novichok was used, which was originally developed in Russian laboratories.
First of all, there are no proofs that it was developed in the Russian labs. The first thesis of Theresa May was that was done in Russia, and that's why Russia is guilty. So now we have proofs that that so-called Novichok could be produced in any place in Europe. So the thesis of the Prime Minister, that Russia is the only place, unfortunately is not supported by the facts. So this is
and
first.
the coincidence of two GRU officers being sightseeing in Salisbury on the same day.
That's the story of the British press and also the government. But unfortunately, it's not supported by the fact. First of all, they gave an interview in the Russian television, and they said officially they are not part of the GRU. This is first. And second, the British side could have an opportunity to question them, but they were never asked for that. If, the Russian side would be asked for that, we were happy to consider.
So
but the British side said they're not going to cooperate.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Ambassador. So the British side, the British,
yes,
can question these two men?
If they would ask for.
So a simple request from the Foreign Office will allow them to be questioned?
Yeah, we were ready to consider. But the request never appeared. There was no request. Why?
Well, why do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Because the people, these two people, they said on the Russian TV, officially, they had nothing to do with this Salisbury case. That was their statement. They also said officially they have nothing to do with the GRU. And the British side refused to cooperate with Russia on anything in Salisbury. So we simply do not understand the position of the British government.
But you'll be aware of the investigative website Bellingcat, which did some exhaustive research and confirmed them as members of the GRU and a potential third member as well.
The problem is that this, as we know, it's connected with the British intelligence. So there is no trust to the British, to this Bellingcat.
Okay, well, whoever did it, you've got no sympathy for Sergei Skripal, have you? He's a double agent. If Kim Philby had been killed by British agents when he defected to Russia, everyone in Britain would have said, good, he's a double agent.
Well, we're dealing just with the facts. In our hands we have the two Russian citizens, Sergei and Yulia Skripal. They're Russian citizens. They never left the Russian citizenship. Under the Vienna Convention, we're allowed and we have the right to see them. Almost a year passed. We didn't have a chance to meet them. The question is why?
Have you made requests?
Dozens. Officially. And unofficially, I was told in the Foreign Office that you will never see them. But they are Russian citizens.
Do you feel that after what happened a year ago, that the atmosphere, relations are now thawing between the United Kingdom and Russia?
I would put this like in 4 layers. If you take politics, we have 3 difficult, let's say, questions. The first is Syria. I mean, I go chronically. Then, of course, Ukraine, and then Salisbury. So in this case of the Salisbury, we expect the official results of the investigation that we can check. So that's for us, that's a must, because we were blamed. This is first. So the relations, political relations, they are quite frozen. As far as the economy concerned, so the business is doing well. And in 2 years, there was a growth, something like 40%. And recently, top 10 British companies met President Putin. That was on the 20th of March. And basically, we are satisfied with this direction of the cooperation. We have good relations on education, science, and of course, culture. So basically, different levels, but still, we need to improve the political relations.
When Britain leaves the European Union, you must hear it, Britain is talking about striking independent trade deals all around the world. Would you like Russia to be one of those countries to strike a trade deal with the UK?
Definitely. That was one of the subject that the major British company discussed with the President Putin and Russian business. We're open for cooperation. It's not just only with us, but also with the Eurasian Union. This is the former republics of the Soviet Union. So the market is 200 million people. So that's a great opportunity for Britain.
And what do you say to allegations of Russian interference in the referendum campaign?
Listen, it's a fake.
And Russian interference in the American elections?
It's also fake.
Robert Mueller, the special counsel, you will know, has indicted, well, he indicted them last year, 13 Russian citizens for interfering in the American electoral process.
I want to read his report because today we don't have the text of the report, and as I understand, the preliminary comments which were made just proved that there was no any Russian meddling. So this is just the facts of life.